Well, hi, friends. We are gathered here this evening to hand out awards for the best and the worst moments from the new 2025 Christmas movies. This is our fourth annual Do You Watch What I Watch Watchies Awards.
We have traveled to Newport, Rhode Island. We went on a river cruise through Europe this year. We went to Big Sky Country. We went to Zolarnia, wherever that might be. And then we landed in Nashville, Tennessee, near and dear to our hearts, and even more places beyond that. These movies made us laugh, they made us cry, and some made us scratch our heads. We've got a lot to talk about, Josh.
We do, Jennifer, and we'll unwrap it all on this very special episode of Do You Watch What I Watch?
Sit down and watch, then have a talk with Jennifer and Josh.
Well, we certainly hope that your 2026 is off to a great start. We are excited to bring you a brand new season of content. But first, let's celebrate everything about the one we just wrapped up, and we are not going to waste any time. This year, we saw an influx of product placement and partnerships with this year's crop of movies. And the first award is for Best Product Placement. The nominees are Nutella, USAA, Thrivent, Abbott Heartmates, King's Hawaiian Rolls, and TJ Maxx. And Jennifer, I love that we're starting here because this is just classic.
We had to talk about it.
Here.
This is a new award for the 2025 award ceremony airing in 2026. It's our first year. Will we get to do it again? Probably so, because
time will
there were a
tell.
lot of product placements. We couldn't ignore it. It needed to be awarded. Hit me with the award.
It did. And the Watchie for Best Product Placement goes to King's Hawaiian Rolls, as featured in Hallmark's Three Wisest Men. This was product placement at its highest level. We saw close shots. We saw script points. We saw rolls aplenty. And I think it's very deserving of the Watchie.
And it did a good job because guess what I wanted after I watched this movie? Some King's Hawaiian Rolls.
Bingo. There you go.
Yep. All right, moving right along. Part of what makes this genre of movies so special is how much heart is behind them, and family plays a big part of that heart. This is the award for Best Family Members. The nominees are the three Keller siblings from A Keller Christmas Vacation, the three Brenner brothers from The Three Wisest Men, and the moms from The Christmas Baby. And the Watchie for Best Family Members goes to the Keller siblings, played by Brandon Routh, Jonathan Bennett, and Eden Scher. They were so believable as siblings in this movie. The way they fought, but the way they cared for each other and stuck up for each other. What did you think?
Absolutely agreed with this one. I mean, this was siblings so well portrayed. It was so well written, and each of these actors brought just a unique nuance to it that I think really made this movie one of our favorites this holiday season for sure. So, loved it. Well, it can't always, Jennifer, be a Norman Rockwell painting. Sometimes the holidays bring out the worst in family dynamics, and that's why we have an award for Worst Family Members. And the nominees are the dads from Christmas on Duty, the cousins from Great Christmas Snow-In, and the families from A Make or Break Holiday. And the Watchie for Worst Family Members goes to the families from A Make or Break Holiday. Woof. And I remember on our episode, both of us were, a little disappointed that these families were just so over the top and so not nice, right?
Yeah, I enjoy a certain level of Christmas family dysfunction, but this, and I think we talked about it on our episode, it never had a payoff. The parents, especially her parents, were just really controlling and cruel at times. And they never really changed. That's just who they are. And we're just supposed to be okay with it. Now, that's not saying that these actors were bad. This is the way it was written. It was supposed to be funny. It just didn't really land for us. But if the goal was to make them unlikable, boy, they were unlikable. So maybe it's the best portrayal of the worst family members. But that's too long to say on an award,
Yeah, we can't quite engrave that on the Watchie, which, to be clear,
Yes.
those will be in the mail.
Of course.
at
Of
some point.
course.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
exactly.
Everybody should check their
Mhm.
P.O. boxes soon. Yeah. This year, these movies brought the heat, and here is the award for Steamiest Hot Cocoa. The nominees are A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, We Met in December, and A Royal Montana Christmas. All had great smooches and kisses and canoodling. The Watchie for Steamiest Hot Cocoa goes to We Met in December. There was such great chemistry between Niall Mater and Autumn Reeser that we had to give him the award, right?
Yeah, and it was surprising how well these two translated on film. I think when we drafted this movie, Jennifer, neither of us was very high on this one. We were kind of like, okay, we'll see. This wound up being one of my favorites this season. I really enjoyed it as a couple. They were great, super believable, super romantic, and I think it's well deserving of this one.
Agreed. And spoiler alert, it's not going to be the last time you hear about this movie on this award ceremony. There, I said it. I shouldn't
Stay
have.
tuned.
I shouldn't have,
Stay
but I did.
tuned.
Yeah.
We all know that misunderstandings and lies are, some common movie tropes. And here is the award for biggest oopsie doodle. And in case you're not familiar, on our podcast, dear listener, an oopsie doodle is that point in the plot for one of these where it throws the entire premise into jeopardy. The couple might implode. Spoiler, they never implode. But, they might. And so here is the award for biggest oopsie doodle. The nominees are A Sweet Holiday Romance, Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper, and My Secret Santa. And the Watchie for biggest oopsie doodle goes to Netflix's My Secret Santa. And Jennifer, boy howdy, this entire movie was an oopsie doodle.
Yes. So much lying and deceit and fake makeup. And if you didn't watch it or hear about it, it's basically a Christmas take on Mrs. Doubtfire and cross dressing. So there was a lot of sneakery going on. So it had to be the oopsie doodle. It's not a bad thing. It was just a big old
No,
oopsie doodle. Mm-mm.
it worked for the movie for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you've been around our podcast long, you know we love the term bonkers. And let's just face it, there's no other way to describe some of these movies other than bonkers. And the nominees are Christmas in Big Sky Country, The Great Christmas Snow-In, and A Christmas Murder Mystery. And the Watchie for most bonkers movie goes to A Christmas Murder Mystery, Josh.
This one, well, first off, Jennifer, we had a hard time figuring out what network this was going to be on for the longest time. But then we pinned down that small detail. And I think we thought this was going to be something that it didn't wind up being. And boy, it was something else. If you've never seen a movie that sort of tries to do Clue, but at Christmas, this is that. And it's certainly worth the watch, if anything, because it is, in fact, incredibly bonkers.
That's right. And we were teased with the notion that Vivica A. Fox was starring in it, and she was in it not much.
Starring.
Not
Yes, exactly.
much. Yeah.
I
Now
think she
you,
had 2
Josh,
scenes.
famously gave it 2 pieces of gold out of 3, so you were high on the bonkers.
I'm high on the bonkers of it all because say what you will about that movie, I thought it was entertaining for the simple fact that it was so bonkers, which I kind of enjoy.
I mean,
every
anytime
now
you
and
got
again.
somebody falling down a flight of steps or throwing themselves down a flight of steps, it's pretty bonkers. Although it's worth
It's
noting,
pretty
every
bonkers.
movie in that category was deserving. So if you didn't watch it,
Exactly.
either watch the movie or go back and listen to our podcast episodes because you will be entertained, let me tell you.
Entertained for sure. Well, emotions can certainly run high at the holidays, and sometimes, just sometimes, you may shed a tear or 2 or 10 watching these movies. And here is the award for highest cry count. The nominees are A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, A Keller Christmas Vacation, and Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. And the Watchie for highest cry count is A Grand Ole Opry Christmas. And Jennifer, it just had to be for anything I mean, it was just the relationship between Nikki DeLoach and her dad. Like, it was just so
Mhm.
sweet
Yep.
and so well done.
Yeah, and the way Nikki DeLoach and Rob Mays played that off one
Mhm.
another, and of course, we live in Nashville, and there's a lot of personal ties to this movie. It was, stirring up emotions in me, specifically that I don't always feel emotions when watching these movies, so it had to be. Now, when I would look back when we were preparing for this, I was like, "Why Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper?" Because it's a very funny movie, but you really had your cry count going on that scene with him, where he did the sign language to ask out Kimberly Sested. So that's why it was a contender in the category.
Contender in the category because that movie, it had a didn't really necessarily have a dramatic arc for me so much as it had just a tenderness to it, and that's, I
Mhm.
think, what really got the tears going for me is it did have those kinds of gestures that I think felt very romantic and very true to that character. And I hope we get a sequel. I would love to see another Ted Cooper movie. And I saw a little bit of scuttlebutt that might be something in the works. I don't know if you saw the same articles out there, but I
I
did
did
see
not.
a little bit of a rumor mill circulating that there might be another one in the works at some point. So
Well, it was a
we'll
big old
see.
smash hit, so that would make
It
sense.
was.
And A Killer
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation obviously was nominated because the family dynamics, but especially the
Whew.
final scene. We won't spoil
The
it if you
final
haven't seen it
scene.
yet, but oh my goodness, definitely. I get the pre-cries a lot. So I get the burn in my sinuses and like I'm just not willing to go there, but I feel uncomfortable and sad but happy at the same time. If you had to look back on the 2025 season, what movie made you cry the most, do you think? Because we did kinda stop
Mm,
keeping track of your cry count at
we
some
did
point.
keep track. We did stop keeping track. It would have to be Opry. I think I texted you that I think I had like a low grade cry going probably the last third of that movie because it was so satisfying for all the reasons that we said. But for me, it starts with a burn for you. For me, it's sort of like this very visceral, like internal shaking thing happening.
Oh,
I get the
no.
quivers. The quivers.
Oh, no. I think you need to inspect that. You go see a physician. If we have any doctors listening, just dissect that a little bit for you.
Well, don't think I don't unpack it with my therapist regularly. I mean,
Yeah, does your therapist know that we do this podcast?
he does. He's in support of it, actually. So
Is he a listener? And if he's not, has he written a five-star rating and review? These are the questions we need to know.
I think it would probably cross some sort of ethical boundary for him to write a 5-star rating and review. But, if you're listening, you're not my therapist, go ahead and write a 5-star recap and review of our podcast. That really helps us climb our way up in the algorithm. So there you go. There's a little plug for
Please.
that.
Please, just naturally. All right, moving on. As much as we love a good cry, we really love a good laugh, and this is the award for biggest LOLs. The nominees are My Secret Santa from Netflix, from Hallmark, Three Wisest Men, and also from Hallmark, Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. And the Watchie for biggest LOLs goes to Three Wisest Men. Woohoo! The third of a trilogy of movies. They've all
Hmm.
made us chuckle. And yeah, it was still good. They could, I don't need them to, but they could make more and I'm going to laugh every time. I know that. It's a
Yeah,
guaranteed laugh.
absolutely. Because it's these three guys, Paul Campbell, Tyler Hines, Andrew Walker. They're just having fun. And you can tell they're having
Mhm.
fun making these movies and they enjoy each other as friends. And that really translates onto the screen as well. And it's really well written and really funny. So agreed. Biggest LOLs for sure. Well, and we hear it all the time. People like to say these movies are all the same formula, all predictable, and we like to celebrate movies that surprised us in one way or another. And the nominees for most surprising are A Sweet Holiday Romance, We Met in December, and Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. And the Watchie for most surprising goes to We Met in December. And there's that reference we heard about this movie a little bit earlier. Most surprising, 2-time Watchie winner tonight, Jennifer.
And the night's still young, so we'll see where the night takes us. Yeah, I mean, and like so we said, most surprising, A Sweet Holiday Romance, I think surprised both of us because we're not usually a royal movie trope, lovers, and that one was really good. We both enjoyed it. We met in December. Well, I'll get back to you in a second. Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper was surprising because it is kind of if you have a friend that doesn't like a Hallmark Christmas movie, I still think they would like Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper and be
For
surprised by
sure.
it. But we met in
Mhm.
December. This whole, lost lover encounter, trying to find them by the holidays thing is a different story for the network. I don't think we've seen it, and if we have, we haven't seen it done this well. And I just really enjoyed it. How about you? And I'm sorry, we heard next to nothing about it ahead of time, so we were
Exactly.
surprised of how good it was.
Yeah, the thing that I really loved especially about that movie was the storytelling device that they did with the elevator. How we got part of the scene at the very front and then we got the entire scene at the back, and it just made it so satisfying and really put the period on that movie in so many ways for me. So, I loved it. I thought it was really great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. Well, sometimes we are surprised by the movies, and other times we are kind of bummed because we saw so much potential that maybe didn't quite live up to our hopes and dreams. This is the award for the loudest sad trombone. Wah, wah. The nominees are A Christmas Murder Mystery, Christmas with the Knightleys, Tidings for the Season, and Christmas Angel Match. And the Watchie for the loudest sad trombone goes to A Christmas Murder Mystery. Another two-time
Mm,
winner tonight, Joshua.
two-time winner. Yeah, it has to be this one. It had so much potential, but it just sort of misfired on a lot of different fronts for me. What about you?
Same. I mean, most of the movie takes place in the daytime, which was a choice. Like that alone, it's like,
Right?
huh? There was just, yeah, it could have been so good. It's such a good concept. It was such a good idea. I think the cast could have been good too. It's just that something just was amiss, and it bums me out because we were very hyped about it. So
Very hyped because it did, on the surface, look like a entirely different kind of Christmas movie than we've really ever seen anywhere from Hallmark, Up
mhm.
TV, Netflix, whatever. A murder mystery at Christmas? You had me. It just kind of underdelivered, underwhelmed. It was a womp
Yeah,
womp for me.
I guess in my head, it was gonna be more you and I are watching The Traitors right now that's airing on
Yes.
Peacock. Big fans of The Traitors. I thought it was gonna be more like that, like, campy and
Yes.
silly, but, like, yes, we're kinda, wanting to get the money from the dad and all this other business, but it just kinda it just fell flat.
Mhm. Mhm. The chemistry doesn't always jive like we hope, but we love it when a relationship feels, as we like to say here on the podcast, earned. A couple you can believe in and you can root for them, and it seems like they could stay together long after the credits roll. So the nominees for most earned relationship are A Newport Christmas, A Sweet Holiday Romance, We Met in December, and Christmas Above the Clouds. And the Watchie for most earned relationship goes to Christmas Above the Clouds, starring Aaron Krakow and Tyler Hines. And boy, the anticipation for this one was really high coming into the season. And this pairing, this couple, these actors, they did not underdeliver, did they?
That's right. They were famously in a not Christmas movie, It Was Always You, which is very, very good. We need to review it. We haven't reviewed it yet, so maybe this year we can
Hmm.
review it. But,
Mm-hmm.
their chemistry was amazing in that, so it was kind of, okay, can they live up to this? Like you said, I think they knocked it out of the park, and it helps because their story in the movie flashes back, so you get more time. Like, you've seen their relationship over time, you believe in it more. Maybe that's kind of an unfair advantage, but, eh, who cares? It's our award show. We're still giving it to them. How about you?
Yeah, I just thought that they were great. And it was a different kind of character for her. Normally my judgment, plays a lot of these almost like a Pollyanna-esque kind of character. Like she's super sweet and super optimistic and super there. But this is like her as a bad person who has to transform. And that really worked. I think it challenged her. I thought Tyler Hines was great. And it was just good. I really enjoyed them as a couple. And I think it certainly felt earned to me. So there you go.
I wonder if you think Pollyanna because she's the lead in When Calls the Heart. That must be
That's
influencing.
exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah. Certainly
It's
what
not
I'm
every
thinking.
day you get a Pollyanna ref on the podcast. I'm here for it. That was enjoyable to me.
I do. You're welcome. Yeah.
We're back, baby. All
We're
right.
back, baby. New year, same us.
If I knew how, I would put my hair in Pollyanna braids for the next episode, but I'm afraid
Please
I'm a
do.
little
Please do.
ill-equipped. All right. Well, it wouldn't be Christmas without a little bit of Christmas magic, whether it's Santa Claus, angels, magical Christmas comets, or a time-traveling pew. Here are the nominees for most Christmas magic. The nominees are She's Making a List, Christmas Above the Clouds, A Newport Christmas, and A Grand Ole Opry Christmas. And the Watchie for most Christmas magic goes to Christmas Above the Clouds.
It was so good. It was, that retelling of A Christmas Carol in a really modern, really fresh way. I loved the airplane references throughout. I loved the time travel of it all. It just felt really magical, and I really liked it, and I bought it.
I did too. It was a great adaptation, a modern retelling of a story that we've known forever, right? And so to take that
Mm-hmm.
story and still make it feel new and fresh, I think was a tall order, and they really accomplished it. And yeah, I loved all the winks and nods to the Dickens of it all and to their names, and it all just worked for me. Very, very magical.
Agreed. Hey, if there's anything we know about these movies, it's that it takes a village to make them. And we want to recognize the people behind the scenes with this award for Best Production Value. So the nominees are A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, A Sweet Holiday Romance, A Keller Christmas Vacation, We Met in December, and A Newport Christmas. And all of these movies are standout for their own reasons. But the Watchie for best production value goes to A Grand Ole Opry Christmas. And Jennifer, you and I debated this one. I originally had voted for another one of these, but you swayed me over once I gave it more thought and all of that. But it just had to be. We said on our episode that they really did justice by the Grand Ole Opry, and I think it was evident through and through that they wanted to do it well, and boy, did they.
That's right. It could have been really cheesy, hokey, boot scoot boogie, and that was a fear I had. But I'm
Mhm.
so glad they put in the work. They partnered with the Opry and really um, gave this story the weight that it deserved and the attention that it deserved. And like you said on the podcast, it was like a love letter to Nashville, a love letter to country music, all of that. So thought it was just great. But yeah, I mean, from the costumes and the set deck and the flashbacks to 1995, I bought it all. But like you mentioned, there's not a bad movie at the bunch right here. I mean, these five, that's why there's
Mm-mm.
5 nominees, because we couldn't narrow it down to just 3 for some of these categories. And
Mm-mm.
again, it's our award show and we can do whatever we want. We want them to be recognized in some way because they are all so good. So if you're still catching up, spoiler alert, check out some of these movies. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, we can tell, we've watched enough of these where we can tell when they go the extra mile and spend the extra money to really do it well. And I think it's worth recognizing that kind of effort as well. So that's why we had 5 nominees. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it was well deserved. It was a good year. All right,
Hmm.
now we're going to switch gears a little bit. It is time to recognize some outstanding individuals in this year's movies. And here is the award for Best Kid Actor. The nominees are Elijah Justice Lewis from Tidings for the Season, Cadence Compton from She's Making a List, and Miles Marthaler from Three Wisest Men. The Watchie for Best Kid Actor is Elijah Justice Lewis. And you know what? He was so adorable. And earnest in his quest to, one day be an anchor, and he was a bright spot in that movie for sure. Basically, as soon as we watched it, I was like, he's probably going to win a Watchies award. And it was early in the season, and
For
my opinions
sure.
did not change. Yeah.
Scene stealer. I mean, the
Mhm.
kid lit up the screen, did such a great job, didn't overplay it, wasn't cheesy. I just thought he was really, really good. And I
Mhm.
bought his performance and thought it was awesome. So good job, Elijah. Well, teamwork makes the dream work. And this is the award for Best Supporting Actor, which we are now going to affectionately call the Trevor Lerner Award because he has won it both times he was nominated. And he's a friend of the pod, by the way. If you've not listened to the interview that we did with Trevor Lerner, you got to go back and listen to it. It's just an incredible story. He is an incredible guy, and we are so thankful that he peeled back the curtain just to tell us a little bit more about his really, really incredible story of how he fell into acting. So anyway, the Trevor Lerner Best Supporting Actor Award. The nominees are Rob Mays from A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, Margaret Collin from Three Wisest Men, and Eliza Hayes Mayer from A Grand Old Opry Christmas. And the Watchie for Best Supporting Actor is Rob Mays, a.k.a. Jet Wade from A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, a.k.a. Nikki DeLoach's dad, a.k.a. incredible actor. Really great performance, Jennifer.
AKA, he was also in A Christmas Murder Mystery in a much smaller role, though. But yeah, this
Exactly.
role was, I mean, you believed every bit of it that he was Jet Wade. This role was made for him. I couldn't imagine anybody else doing it. He just, he was so sincere in his line deliveries, even when he was frustrated or mad about things going on in the movie. He played that all really well. Like, he had, I guess trying to say he had a wide range of emotions that we got to see. And I really wanted to see him in more of these roles. I know he's been in movies before, but this to me was like the beginning of the next level.
Does he have any kind of musical background? Is he
Yeah,
a recording
he's a
artist?
musician as well. He's an artist.
That's what I thought, because obviously it translates. He played it so beautifully, and I think it's something that totally worked for sure.
Mm-hmm. So we know talent when we see it, and we think that these women are going to continue to impress us. This is the Watchie Award for Actress to Watch, and the nominees are Holland Roden from Holiday Touchdown: A Bill's Love Story, Talia Robinson from A Newport Christmas, and Eliza Hayes Mayer from A Grand Ole Opry Christmas. And the Watchie for Actress to Watch goes to Eliza Hayes Mayer, aka Young Rita from A Grand Ole Opry Christmas. She was a delight, an absolute delight.
Jumped off the screen, and I think she just looks so comfortable in this kind of big role, and really just believability, relatability, just really a fun performance from her. I thought it was great.
Mhm. Yeah, we want more. We want more.
We want more. And that is going to be true of the next category as well. We've got our eyes on these men and hope to see them more in this genre of movie. The nominees for actor to watch are Matthew Daddario from Holiday Touchdown: A Bill's Love Story, Parker Young from Christmas on Duty, and Evan Alexander Smith, A Newport Christmas. And so the Watchie for actor to watch goes to Matthew Daddario from Holiday Touchdown: A Bill's Love Story. And boy, this guy faced a lot of pressure because the network put so much promotional weight behind this. And I think, Jennifer, am I wrong? This was his first Hallmark Channel appearance, right?
Think so. I'll double check in the background. I'll have our intern look it up. I mean, here, hold on. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Look
can I
that
get
up,
some?
intern.
Can I get a check on it? Yeah, okay, they're looking
Yeah.
into it while we
But
dash.
anyway, he just knocked it out of the park. Really believable in this male lead role, really endearing, really did a great job of kind of carrying this movie alongside his co-star, Holland Roden. And I just thought that they were a great couple. Not, not the traditional kind of Hallmark Hall stars that we see in these really heavily promoted flicks. But boy, I just thought he really did a great job and would love to see him in future roles on the network.
Same. And what's that? Okay, that's what we thought.
What's
Thank
that? Yeah.
you. Our intern has scoured IMDb, and it does not appear that he has been in any other rom-com made-for-TV movies. He's been in a lot of stuff, but I haven't seen it. Certainly not any Hallmark. So, want to see more of him. Hallmark, if you're listening, call him. That's how it works, right?
That's how it works. By the way, I think we need to give our intern a name. Maybe we should take suggestions from our listeners. What should we name our intern?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
we've made it big now, so we can do that kind of thing. All right.
Exactly.
Well, there is so much more to these leading ladies than a red peacoat, although they all do look fantastic in a red peacoat. The nominees for Best Female Lead are Jenna Claire Mason from A Newport Christmas, Nikki DeLoach from A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, and Erin Krakow, Christmas Above the Clouds. Now, this is a tough category. We loved all of these women in these performances, but the Watchie for Best Female Lead goes to Nikki DeLoach as Gentry Wade on A Grand Ole Opry Christmas. It had to be.
I agree. It was just one of those roles where it feels like years from now we're going to be talking about, do you remember when Nikki DeLoach was in A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, how good that was? Because it was that special of a role. And I think it was just one of those career-defining kind of roles for her.
Agreed. I've never seen her be bad in anything, certainly, but this is definitely a standout, and you can tell in hearing her in interviews, it meant so much to her, and that really comes through in this performance. Again, this movie could have been super cheesy. We've seen Nashville movies on plenty of networks in the past. They never really hit. This was a slam dunk, and we are so happy to have seen her as Gentry Wade.
There you go. Well, this is another category that is nearly impossible to just award one crown to, but we're going to try our best. That is the work, after all, here on the podcast. The award for Best Male Lead, and the nominees are Wes Brown from A Newport Christmas, Christopher Palaha, A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, and Robert Buckley, Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. Again, all three of these standout performances, really great. But there can only be one. And the Watchie for Best Male Lead goes to Wes Brown from A Newport Christmas. And Jennifer, this was just a great role all the way around. I thought it was funny, heartfelt. He really felt like sparks were flying with Jenna Claire Mason throughout. It was just really, really great, really special.
Agreed. It was such a, again, a wide range of emotions. And when he shows, well, spoiler alert for Newport Christmas, spoiler alert from Newport Christmas. When he shows up in that tuxedo back in the day as the other guy, I don't remember the other guy's name. I was taken aback. He was just so handsome and dashing, and that somebody would give up their entire present day 2025 life to go back to that time before, there's a lot of modern medicine and there's some wars ahead and stuff. That's love, baby. That is love. So good on you, Wes Brown.
For sure. For sure.
All right. We put the call out to you, the listeners. You are going to tell us and vote on the favorite movie of the 2025 holiday season that we covered on our podcast. Probably should have said that at the top. The awards are handed out based on movies we covered on our podcast. We did not watch and cover every Christmas movie that aired out of the probably hundreds that were on all networks. So there you go. All right. So you all voted. We tallied it up and got out our little abacus. And this is the Watchie for fan favorite goes to A Grand Ole Opry Christmas.
Had to be.
Had to be. Now, I do have a question. Do you think it was because Jennifer, was on set one day when they were filming in Nashville, and I hyped the movie up so much that it just made more eyeballs watch it, and that's what put it over the edge?
I think it easily could have been. I'm confused, though. Were you on set for A Grand Ole Opry Christmas? Because I haven't heard that once or 13 times this season. So how are you feeling? I know we were very, very hopeful that we would see you in those 1995 crowd shots that started. And boy, I was a little bummed when we got archive footage from 1995 instead of seeing you in the audience. How are you doing with that disappointment?
Well, we did give it a Watchie for best production value in part because they had interspliced original footage. For the sake of the movie, I appreciate it, and I think it was the right choice. Selfishly, sure, I'll always be bummed, but you know what? I have those memories in my heart, and I wrote about it in my diary, and I'll never forget it. Just kidding. I don't have a diary, but it's up here. Okay. When I'm old and gray, I'll remember. I'll tell my great grandkids one day Meemaw was on set for a Hallmark movie. And I'll make them gather around whatever device that we watch movies on, or I could just act it out maybe. It's the
Mm-hmm.
options are
Mm-hmm.
open. The world is still my oyster, and to be continued.
I love that for you. I love that for you. Well, a great experience all the way around. And friends, that is another year of Christmas movie reviews in the book. Just want to say, from our hearts to yours, thank you for being here with us each and every day. And hey, what did we get wrong? What did we get right? Engage with us. Let us know in the comments below. And let me just say this. We are just two local yokels having a good time, enjoying watching holiday movies and gabbing about them in our spare time. And to think, Jennifer, that there are people that would give up their time to join us for this crazy ride and laugh along with us and engage with us and share stories and share their own thoughts and share their love for the genre and all this. It's just bonkers to me. And I don't take it for granted. I'm so thankful for you as a friend and so thankful for all of our listeners who just enjoy it like we do. It's crazy to me.
It is crazy, and it's so sweet, and it's always a highlight of all the time, but especially at the holiday season. It wouldn't be Christmas without it. So special thanks as always to you, Josh, for being my co-host and for still being my friend, but also to our friend Nick Schwartz for our theme song. I saw him the other day. I was like, hey, heard you and Josh were hanging out without me at the zoo. Didn't like that. Get jealous. Anyways, he made our amazing theme song. And hey, guys, we're going to be back in February to talk about more favorite TV movies. So make sure you have subscribed either on your favorite podcast platform or on our YouTube channel so you don't miss any episodes.
Yes, by all means, as you have come to expect from us, we will have much to discuss. But until we see you very soon, may your days be merry and bright. Take care.